You're stuck inside and you can't get out, but you feel like being free. Grab a witch and make a switch and see what you can be. That's Halloween, witch magic Halloween. Halloween, witch magic Halloween. Halloween, witch magic Halloween. Halloween, Halloween, witch magic Halloween.
You are listening to the Last Roundup Horror Show. I am Frank. With me, as always, is Jason Miller.
Yeah.
And John Walmsley. He always comes in like a Ninja Turtle. It's but, we got some reviews going this time, guys. A bunch of solid movies this time go around. Not really any bad watches, but I watched them all this time. By the way, watched them all the way through.
Yeah.
No Wikipedia for this guy.
Yeah. Let's start off in 1986, Slaughter High. 8 people are invited to their old high school for their 10-year reunion where a fellow former student, disfigured from a prank gone wrong, is out to seek revenge. Written and directed by George Dugdale, Mark Ezra, and Peter Mackenzie Litton. Do you have any information, Jason? You don't have notes?
I have no notes.
He was down to the wire on these fucking movies. I've done that before. A little sad trivia here. Simon Scudamore, who played Marty, killed himself via intentional drug overdose shortly after filming. In fact, some of the scenes at the end with the jester mask, that's the director. So unfortunate.
Oh, so he didn't even finish the movie?
I think they needed some pickups.
Or they had to go back and back.
Needed some
They
extra
needed
stuff.
some like inserts or stuff, something like that, and he had killed himself previous.
This movie was originally titled April Fool's Day, but of course they didn't lock it down soon enough. This came out the same year as April Fool's Day, so got to jump on that shit, guys. You start off.
Interestingly enough, in I believe it's either China or Japan, it was released on VHS as April Fool's Day.
Yeah, I saw that. That's fucking weird shit. You start out this movie, you meet the nerd Marty, who's about to be seriously pranked by like a terrible group of people. It's like the popular people, I guess. I was laughing right off the bat with this movie. He's attempting to apply this condom, which looks like
that novelty condom.
I don't even know what it was like.
It's got like a sex toy built into the condom.
It looked really dangerous and uncomfortable, but I'll tell you what, he gets real embarrassed here, but goddamn, he's got a big old dick on him. He's got a big old dick on him. He shouldn't be embarrassed at all. He should have made friends. All those girls should have been like, "Fuck, Marty, shit," you know.
I was watching that with my wife. I was like, "Don't you look at that thing, you pervert!" I saw you over there looking at it.
Big old cock.
Oh my god,
big old
that is
cock.
funny.
Yeah. Carolyn Monroe, who plays Carol, has been in a couple movies we've reviewed in the past. She was in Maniac. From 1980, and on the opposite end of the quality spectrum, she was in Cute Little Buggers from 2017.
Oh my god, what a
which
horrible
is
movie.
one of the worst movies we've ever watched.
That's awful.
You got to love the score here. You got a Harry Manfredini score. He's done so much shit. He actually used a lot of stuff. I don't know if it was
Friday the 13th.
Was it unused? Was it unused or was it actually used in them? It was used in Friday the 13th.
He used some like main like chase sequence stuff. You know what I mean?
Hey man,
and
he can
do
do
a bit of original.
He can do whatever he wants if they're still going to cash those checks, you know. Even if the chemical lab, this chemical lab is what burns Marty up. Like, what was the exact thing they did? He tampered with What'd that dude tamper with?
To his joint. He had he did something to his joint, and then the lab explodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they put something in the beaker on the Bunsen burner to
Yeah.
make it overflow.
Oh,
And
okay.
Yeah.
that caught on fire. And then
The
you
acid.
gotta love that rickety shelf with the acid on top. Like,
this lab was gonna go up anyways.
Oh,
These
someone was
shelves
gonna
are
die in that lab.
all flimsy, uncovered, not even a lid on any of this
Oh,
shit,
my
and
God.
like acid just loose. But
on the highest unstable shelf you can get, it was a
Yeah.
Looney Tune. I love it.
yeah, some of the stuff that is bad about this movie I thought was hilarious. They must not have had they must not have figured out how to shoot outside in the dark, because it was so dark. It was like pitch black. It might as well have been just a black screen when they're outside for the most part. I it was so funny because they could have shot.
What'd you watch this on? How'd you watch it?
Wherever it was, probably Tubi.
On Tubi.
Wherever it was free.
What John mentioned, picking up the Blu-ray, and I maybe I responded, but I don't think I did.
Well,
but,
it was your picture of the Blu-ray. I was like, I gotta get that. I have to get that.
Yeah, so I know I've seen this movie before, but I don't remember what the picture quality was when I first watched it. But I wasn't really that impressed with this release or with this transfer.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe that whatever transfer you were watching it on was really dark. I mean, nothing really stood out to me like what you're talking about.
If they would have just put some animated eyeballs, it would have been perfect, because like I couldn't see shit when they were outside. I mean, maybe a flashlight here or there or whatever. It was just normally they shoot day for night with shit like that, where they'll like just alter the fucking, the way it looks.
Right.
But whatever. There's a caretaker dude. He made me laugh how easily he was swayed. Just a beer, he was cool. Like whatever's clever. He gave me one beer. I would have liked to see him live a little longer. He was a likable character. There's a scene in this movie where a guy shotguns a beer, and did that look weird to you guys at all? Because he flips it in the air, turns it upside down, stabs it with a knife. But then you see him, it's open. Nothing sprays anywhere at any point. It was the weirdest shit ever. But lots of fun kills in this movie. My favorite is the woman who is melted in the bathtub when the acid comes out of the spout somehow.
Yeah.
Like he's really doing some elaborate plumbing shit in this movie. I think she could have saved herself, though. I think she could have got out of there with just a couple burns, but she just couldn't get out of the fucking tub. It was like
she kept reaching to try to turn it off. She's like, oh! And I swear to God, they used the same scream like 3 times in a row while she's 3 times in a row, the same screen. Love it. So funny.
Did you guys think it was weird whenever they mentioned like if they can make it past noon, then April Fool's Day is over with? Did you notice that at all?
Oh yeah.
It's like a British thing, evidently. Like in Britain, it's over at noon. Does the one girl fall in some sort of open air septic tank at the end? What the hell is the thing she falls into?
I don't know what that is. I was
wondering like
the same exact thing.
Yeah.
That could only be it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of laughs. There's a part where this girl gingerly hits this killer 3 or 4 times, leaves the baseball bat right with him, and then runs away, leaving the weapon. That's a pretty important rule. Just don't leave the weapon near you take it with you. Why don't you ever fucking take it with you? Regardless. I think that they could have just ended it with Marty winning and fading out after he kills Carol, laughing maniacally or something, because it was a dream, but oh wait, he's still crazy, was pointless for me. It was just an extra step, and it lightened up the actual revenge that this character enacted. So I don't know. They should just cut it off there. But 7 out of 10 for me. would have been a much higher score if it weren't so fucking dark all the time. But whatever.
Yeah, I'm thinking that was maybe just the transfer.
Probably just Tubi, whatever.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Go for it, John.
All right, cool. All right, so I'm just going to start off with my rating. I gave it a fucking 10 because this film is a 10. And it's not for all the right reasons it's a 10. This was, to me, this is the last great slasher of the 80s. Because it had pretty much all been done. That's why this was a cash grab. That's all this was. This was a cash grab film with the 3 directors. Caroline Munro ended up marrying George Dugdale.
This was 86, right?
Yeah.
Oh boy, you got a lot more. You got a lot of good slashers left. Oh, whoa, holy smokes!
87 was full of them, I think.
Jeez, yeah.
Okay, then I retract my statement.
but still, it's still a 10.
But still, yes, it's still a 10 because it's great for all the wrong reasons. I loved how dark it was because it reminded me of when I first saw it. I saw this on Monster Vision in the what year was that original run? Like the years, was it like early 90s, right? Like 93?
That's what I was thinking, like 93.
Something like that. Yeah, this was like the second movie. I was up late and I saw it. I caught it at like when Marty first steps out of the shadows and you see the silhouette of his jester cap, and for some reason that just freaked me the fuck out. Like it looked good, it was creepy, the little jingle bells kind of just added to the creepiness factor, and I was like, what is this? I don't know what this is. Marty was pretty much the perfect nerd. It's a shame that dude died because I thought he killed that role. And I read on IMDb that I guess at least 2 of the directors, maybe all 3, felt like they contributed to this. It took his mom to tell them that he's had issues all his life.
I saw that.
So that was a bummer. And I love the cast, how they try to do the accents. It's an almost all English cast.
Yeah.
And I think the only one was the girl. The only one that wasn't was the girl, Donna Yeager.
The blonde?
Yeah, Stella. Yeah, Donna Yeager. That's the actress. Yeah, she was from Texas and just happened to be over there. But it's all coming off as like real thick New York accent.
Yeah.
So I thought that worked out. The 2 dudes that were buddy, that initially like, hey Marty, we just wanted to say we're real sorry. Them dudes at the beginning, they were hilariously terrible. That gut explosion. The effects in this movie were pretty decent for what you saw. Mm-hmm. Even that stop motion face melt.
Yeah, the thing about
motion face melt.
The thing about that,
a little bit of flavor.
That was the worst effect of the movie, though. That was the worst effect of the movie, though.
The gut effect was really cool, but the whole time I'm like, what happened? What's the science behind this? Because he just drinks that beer.
He mixed the potion.
How did he close the beer up? How did he like had to close a beer back up or something?
Marty's really good at science. You gotta understand.
He did get that acid plumbing going.
Yeah, right. What? No, yes, he did. He rigged all that shit up. Marty's fucking MacGyver. Let's see. What else? What other notes do I have? I really love this movie. I always did. And, I never could remember what it was called after I saw it on Monster Vision because I didn't see the whole thing. I just saw it from a certain thing, or maybe I didn't finish it because I bought a bootleg DVD at some horror show. It was a VHS to DVD transfer, and I loved how it looked. It reminded me of just watching it right off the TV. I thought the shadows were sweet. I liked that you couldn't really see them in the dark because it was real genuine to me.
So this was a really rough film to begin with. Okay, because I was wondering. I was watching this Blu-ray. I was like, man, this. I mean, it's okay, but it really could have been maybe a DVD transfer. But for the way you guys are making it sound, this looks really good. I just didn't know it.
Okay. Yeah, and then one of those multi-movie packs came out that included Slaughter High, Waxwork, Chud 2.
Yeah, I still have that DVD.
I still have that too. I watch it. I haven't bought all.
That's a good deal. That was like $7.
That's like one of the best. Yeah, that was like one of the best multi-packs I've ever seen of actual movies.
Drives me nuts. Drives me so OCD nuts when they mix them up like that. Like I put the same things on there. You've got part 2 of this and whatever. But yeah. Anyways, Jason.
I mean, I don't really know what to say. I really like this movie. I like the setting. I like the old school setting. It reminds me a lot of other slasher movies. It's a revenge, a nerd, there's not a lot of gore, not a lot of effects, but John's right. What's there is good. I like it. I think this probably falls just under a recommendation for me. I don't know why. Because I guess we're drawing that line at 8, and 8 is what we consider a recommendation. I would give us a 7. It's just right under there. But that's just if I was to recommend it to some dude I work with. I probably wouldn't pick Slaughter High. There's a bunch of other movies I'm gonna recommend before this one. But it's solid slasher. Give it a 7.
Right on.
And was this the first, Frank? You said this was the first time you saw it, right?
Yeah, I had always seen
is that correct? Okay.
Yeah, the VHS. I remember the cover, and I just never grabbed it. It always seemed like I was like, what the fuck is this? A skeleton? Is this a movie about a skeleton? I don't want to.
Oh, you saw the Mohawk one? Is it the skeleton, or what? He's wearing a mortarboard, or
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, with the cherry bomb.
Yeah, and I mean, and now when I look back on it, I'm like, yeah, I would have rented that now. Like that, I would be like, oh yeah, definitely. But back when I was, a teenager hitting the VHS aisle, it was like, nah, I'm not fucking with that. I was like, I'll just get Redneck Zombies again. So
that's a safe bet.
Yeah, you always had those standbys, Let's go back to 1983 for Sleepaway Camp. Surprising it took us this long to hit this one, because this is I would consider this like a classic, I guess.
Oh yeah.
The summary for this film: Angela Baker, a shy, traumatized young girl, is sent to summer camp with her cousin. Shortly after her arrival, anyone with sinister or less than honorable intentions gets their comeuppance. Written and directed by Robert Hiltzik, who came back and did Return to Sleepaway Camp. Jason, you don't have anything? I'm just going to bypass. Okay.
Yep.
Fun fact I found out when I was doing research for this is that Bruce Springsteen's sister takes over the Angela role in the sequels. That's fucking weird as hell to me.
Real quick, how does everyone feel about the sequels?
I don't remember them that well. I know whenever Return came out, I went through them all. And for some reason, I remember a scene in one of them where there was a chainsaw going, but they didn't put the sound in for it or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I seemed to remember not liking them, but I do think I like Return to Sleepaway Camp, just because
I do like them. I think we're gonna knock these down.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see how that goes.
I thought they were just okay, and I haven't seen 4.
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't. I guess I didn't know there even was a 4.
Yeah. Return to Sleepaway Camp. They bring back most of the old cast, and
I saw that.
Angela's back as what's her name? Felicia
Rose.
Felicia. Anyways, they evidently shot this in early fall, so they had to go around spray painting leaves and grass for continuity. Doesn't that seem like a pain?
Yeah, see, when it first started, it was really bright fall colors, and then they would go later on in the movie, everything was still pretty green. I was like, well, they obviously.
But I think the boat tragedy at the beginning could have been avoided. I mean, those kids.
Oh yeah.
They were driving this boat, and the dude was acting all uptight about like, ugh, but then he wasn't looking forward at all. Like there was no.
Because the cameraman was in the way.
Yeah, that's true. The mom or aunt, is it the aunt? It's the aunt, right?
Yeah.
She is the highlight of this movie for me.
Oh yeah.
Like the way she says, "Look what I did. I packed you and your cousin some goodies for the ride up to camp."
She's the worst part of the movie for me.
Oh, I love it.
Oh man.
Wasn't
very
that
much the worst part? Just explain to me. It's like I know she had like. Let me say this. Can we not spoil the end of this movie? Like I know it's from 1980, whatever. But
this is a shocker ending that people need to see. They need to experience it.
I'll try to not ruin it.
I will. I will also do my best.
That being said, I know they had to make her crazy.
Yeah.
But why'd they make her that way?
I love the way.
I mean, look what she did.
It doesn't fit the tone of the movie.
It's so
exactly.
It's so
it's just it's awkward. It's out of place. Like
that's why I like it. That's why I like it a lot.
I feel like I don't even know how to explain it. Like like I'm watching.
Like you're watching Hectic Knife. That's exactly what it reminded me of. Like a weird, like almost a David Lynch thing. Like that would be a David Lynch movie. But
I couldn't decide. I remember when I first saw this, I couldn't decide if she was one of the best actresses I've ever seen or the worst.
She's one of the worst.
She crushed it. But she was extra crazy though. Like because then then it was years, and then I bought the Blu-ray and watched the interview with her, and I'm like, oh my god, she's awesome. She's not like that at all. Because I thought maybe she was playing herself.
Yeah,
like they
found
some chick in an asylum and gave her some money and be like, hey, read these words. Here's some money. Let's do this. Let's make a fucking movie.
I don't know what her motivation for why she delivers the lines the way she does, but I fucking love it.
I'm assuming they told her
sheer
to do
craziness.
it that way, but
sheer craziness.
So I was 1 year old in 1983, so I don't know if phrases like where I come from, we call them baldies, was like a cool, like, and if it was cool to like stand, like this cook character is just standing there with his whole staff talking about fucking children, very openly. And I don't know if that was cool back then or not, but very, very weird.
It was guy talk. It was considered guy talk. Because, James Earle Jones' dad was like, that's funny. And I'm like, Robert Earle Jones, you son of a bitch, don't you laugh at that.
Was that really
You're from Maniac Cop, too. Don't laugh at that shit.
Okay.
Is that really his dad?
Yeah, it's Robert Earle Jones.
That is his dad.
Lie.
No way. I don't believe it. I believe it's his name. I believe it's his name, but there ain't no way that's his name.
God damn it. Cash at me $100 right now because I bet you $100. Get your ass on IMDb and pay me my money.
No.
It's his dad. It looks like him. They got the same voice, for Christ's sake.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God. People
I'm pulling
listening.
it up. I'm pulling it up.
Oh, my God.
I'll get the proof.
They look alike, for Christ's sake. Oh, God, you're breaking my heart. Oh.
I believe you, John. I'm going to go with you on this one.
Listen, I have no choice but to believe it. I don't believe anyone's just going to make up a story like that. It's just blowing my mind.
Oh, God.
let's see his bio
Oh,
here.
shit.
It is.
You
what
have
the
to
fuck?
help me to accept it.
Oh my God! This halted it. I love it.
I found his
Hilarious.
IMDb page.
You just shut the whole show down.
Yeah.
This is big news. We can't
Yeah.
move on from this.
I
Well,
know the truth.
Don't go to
Them
Wiki
find
because it's probably edited by John.
There you
Oh,
go.
get out of here! I don't even use Wikipedia.
Oh, screen sharing.
Here's Robert Earle Jones.
Father of James Earle Jones and Matthew Earle Jones, grandfather of Flynn Earle Jones.
Are you
It's
reading
on
this?
IMDb
Oh.
on trivia.
Father
Yeah,
of James Earle Jones and Matthew Earle Jones. Yeah.
Now click
Say
on
that
James.
man
Click on
keeps
James Earl
reminding
Jones.
me.
Make sure that's the right one.
It is.
Oh my! I mean,
the same James Earl Jones.
Could you imagine if there was two of them on IMDb?
Oh my God! It has to be like our James Earl Jones. Oh my God! Darth Vader. Oh my God!
All right,
Oh.
I accept it.
Here they are together.
I'm glad you
Where
accept
it?
the truth.
It is him. Holy smokes! How they do look just alike, don't they?
Yeah.
How did I not pick up on that?
I didn't know it either.
Know.
I
Like
didn't know
real,
it either.
real bassy voices too.
Yeah, they look exactly alike.
That is crazy. Okay, so there's this dude who's a counselor in this movie. His name's Ron, and I just want to talk a little bit about his wardrobe. I don't know what he is preparing for, but it seems like I don't know, competition fucking or something. He's got like shorts on. Everything's tight, and he's either gonna fight somebody in some sort of sanctioned event or I don't know. It's wild. And there's another dude that's wearing like a belly shirt, like a half shirt, and
Gene.
It's above his belly. It's right underneath his
that
nipples.
crop top.
And there's another guy that is wearing literal Daisy Dukes, like seriously.
Is that the one douchebag from Douchebag Cabin?
I believe
shorts
so.
Where they blue shorts?
Yeah. When the kid under the canoe is found and a fucking snake comes out of his mouth, I love that shit. I just love how they do that.
It looks good too.
You know how
it really did.
You know how
a snake, really good.
As soon as a corpse hits the ground, man, snakes are at it. They're like, "What? I gotta go fucking do a crawl on it.
Gotta crawl in his mouth.
Gotta get in that mouth."
Get in that mouth.
The character Mel, I believe he's the head counselor. Is that right?
I think he's the owner.
Yeah,
that's the owner.
He doesn't look like he wants to own a camp, does he? He looks like he'd feel more at place on a boat with a cocktail. But he died 3 months before the film's release from lung cancer. But he's smoking these fucking dog rockets all through this movie, man. He must have just said, fuck it. Fuck it. I don't understand why Mel thinks that Ricky is the killer, though. It's kind of like what was it that he said? What was the reason?
He said, he's pissed off like the whole movie. He's wanting to fight everything.
Yeah.
Keep messing with Angel.
He's hyper violent.
Yeah.
So he thinks it's him.
So since we're not going to spoil the end of the movie, I just think it was interesting how they did it. If you want to know, look it up on IMDb. Once you watch the movie,
You should watch it.
Yeah, watch.
Yeah, because it's interesting, and then you can look up how they did the special effects because it's. I never knew it. This is a fun, nostalgic movie, successful in all areas. I think basically, it's a 7 out of 10 though. I don't know. That's how much I enjoy it. Is right there to 7.
Go for it, John.
Oh, all right, cool. So I saw this for the first time when I was 16 in, I think it was like, I don't know, 95 or so. Rented it. I was like, I heard people talking about this for years. I was like, all right, cool, I'm going to see it. Watched it. Scared the shit out of me. The ending. Just the ending. It was like a slasher. It was like, okay, Friday the 13th, slashers, whatever. Mm-hmm. That ending. Jesus Christ. I couldn't even finish it. Mm-hmm. Like, I had to turn it off. It was such a shock, and the way they did it. And on the VHS copy, I got a thing with eyes. Like, I'm sure you've seen Carrie. The end with when they showed a crucifix, it's got those unnaturally white eyes. Mm-hmm. That scared the fuck out of me too. But the end of this, when they're pulling out, those eyes are so weird, and it's so, the face. It's just the face.
It is weird. Like what?
It's the face.
Yeah,
it's a mask.
It looks like a werewolf.
It's a mask. It's a mask. I thought it was. I thought it was for years. I thought it was a bad super.
I remember now. Yeah.
I thought it was just like badly superimposed, like Bruce Lee was his last movie when they just slapped a head sticker on someone. Yeah. You know. But I always had this question: did Ricky know about Angela? Because in the flashback, when everything is revealed, the aunt says, we got to do this before Ricky gets home from his father's. Mm. You know what I'm saying? So, and also, was Angela actually... Never mind. That would be part of the spoiler. Never mind. My fault.
Watch the movie.
My fault. I had to catch... I think sorry.
I think I know what you were going to ask, but I can't answer it.
All right, we'll
but I think the answer to your question is yes.
You think he was aware?
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
Your next question. I don't know.
I gotcha. All right, dude. How weird was it that Meg was like wanting to ride on Mel? How weird was that?
Yeah.
I mean, good for him.
Weird. Yeah, right on. He seemed as shocked as...
He was so
shocked
sad.
Out of everywhere.
He was so sad when he couldn't find her.
But she's like, yeah. Oh, not you, Meg. Not you.
Yeah, he wasn't that
upset. His voice was great. I loved his voice. And the effect they did on him with the arrow, watch how that was done. That was crazy how they did that. It worked so well. Like, it could have been, I don't know, maybe, I don't know how bad you wanted it to look or whatever, but just the execution of it was awesome. Mm-hmm. I love the Frank the Cop, the hilariously bad mustache, because he shaved his shit when he was done after his scenes, and then they had to do reshoots. And he had the worst fake mustache. It wasn't one of them ones out of the quarter machines from when we were kids, but it was pretty fucking close. It was like the Hollywood version of it. I thought the story was great. I like seeing the aftermath of all the kills rather than most of the time, but this one worked. Like the kid in the canoe, that was a good jump scare. Like, 'cause you didn't know what happened. And one thing they ruin on the Blu-ray is on the silhouette right before Judy gets hers, because it's super clear on what the deal is. Oh. Like it's almost a sort of spoiler alert because it was a stand-in. But yeah, this movie, because it scared the shit out of me for so many years, like I didn't get back on the horse until probably the Blu-ray came out. That's how much it freaked me out. It just freaked me out. Everything about that scene, the noises, the music, the camera work, the scene itself, it was crazy. I give it, it's a 10. It is a 10. Just like the whole
throwing
ending,
them 10s.
Really? Yeah, just them out.
Tens, bitch, tens. Yeah, dude. It's the whole ending and the plot made any weak part, it brought it right up. That is a massive ending. It's a massive ending.
It's one of the craziest.
Yes, it is one of the craziest all-time endings I have ever seen.
I don't want to spoil anything, but have any of you guys seen the Sleepaway Camp light switch covers?
Yes.
Yeah.
If I was single and didn't have a wife and kids, that would be everywhere.
No, I get you. That's hilarious. Yeah.
Every single
room.
People would be like, "This is seriously just a little overdone." Don't you think?
Yeah. You got a problem.
But John, you give it a 10. Jason, what do you say?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of right there the same way with this one as I was with Slaughter High. I think it's a great slasher for me. You know what? No, I will give this one an 8 just because that, like, if you've never seen this movie before, watch it. It's nothing special. It's a solid 80s slasher up until the ending. Then the ending just pushes it over.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would recommend this anyway. Even if you're not a big fan of slashers, this is it's fun. It's so the chef going into the boiling water.
What a fucking huge!
What a great effect!
What a huge pot! I've never seen a pot.
It's real though. That's the thing.
They use a chair. And then James Earle Jones' dad's like, well, I don't know how it would have happened. I don't understand. What do you mean? He's climbing up on a chair. But yeah, there's some good kills in this movie. It's your standard slasher with a crazy ending. It's an 8.
Yeah, I mean, I gave it a 7, but it's definitely recommended because, I mean, if you haven't seen it, there's nothing. I can't even imagine seeing it at the time when it came out. Like,
oh my god,
you would not see that coming at all.
No way.
Right.
No way.
Yeah, I was probably
not
17,
in what, 81, 83,
18.
not in 83.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. Great. That's like up there. It's like Cannibal Holocaust with the must-see movies. This is one of those you got to see it.
Mm.
You know, I mean, you got to put it on your list of must-see.
Just to have the frame of reference, I think, is I mean, if nothing else. Anyways, let's go to 1997 for Wishmaster. Summary for this film: a demonic jinn attempts to grant its owner 3 wishes, which will allow him to summon his brethren to Earth. Directed by Robert Kurtzman, mostly known as a special effects guy. He's the K and K&B effects. And he paid... one of the things I saw in the trivia for him was that he paid Quentin Tarantino $1,500 to adapt Dusk Till Dawn into a screenplay. So he had written this story, and he paid Quentin Tarantino that's a small amount of money, because at that time, Tarantino was... Pulp Fiction was out, right? Like, was Dusk Till Dawn before?
I think they were dudes. Like they were buddies.
Oh yeah, probably. His credentials alone are insane if you just look him up. This was written by Peter Atkins, who's known for the Hellraiser sequels 2, 3, and Bloodline. And this movie is chock full of people. Like, there's so many cameos and stuff in this, starting with Angus Scrimm as the narrator of the film.
Yep.
Robert Englund gets to play a human being called Raymond Beaumont. Ted Raimi's smashed to bits in it. Dan Hicks was in this, but I didn't see him. He was a custom official. Did anybody catch him? I did not see him.
I'm not sure who is.
Dan Hicks.
Danny Hicks from Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
Bobby Joe and him.
Yeah.
And Vern Troyer was in this. I believe he is the first incarnation of the Wishmaster when it's like crawling on the floor.
I do.
And
oh my god!
Of course, you have George Buck Flower in this. He's from They Live and numerous other things.
The Fog.
Yeah. Reggie Bannister plays a pharmacist. Kane Hodder is a guard. Tony Todd plays.
Hold on, let me just say, I don't know. This is the first movie. Okay, first of all, this is the first time I watched this movie. Oh. Second of all, I think this is the first time where they really show how short Kane Hodder really is.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they call him like a little short man or something in the movie. But yeah, he looks huge, in other movies, and just a little short dude.
Yeah.
Is he real? How tall is he?
He's 5 foot something, I suppose.
But yeah, maybe 6. Yeah, maybe 6. Yeah, short.
Them downward angles.
Right.
Tony Todd plays Johnny Valentine, and you get to see Tom Savini pop in at the pharmacy scene. He's a customer. So, I mean, it's chock full of stuff. I thought Wes Craven was more involved than what he is. I thought he directed this film for whatever reason, but he's just a producer.
Executive producer. I think he just put up the money for it.
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
But I did start going kind of down a wormhole with this movie, and there's even besides the actors, like the crew. Like I started going down to their filmographies, and like everyone has done. Just a bunch of horror, like classic horror movies, like even like the DPs and stuff like that. Worked on Elm Street, with Wes Craven and stuff. Like it just everyone was really talented that was a part of this movie.
Yeah, they loaded it up with talented people. Even with the score, you got Harry Manfredini back again. Yeah. And when it's not his music, it's some sort of 90s style cock rock. I don't really enjoy. Some of it's not really that great. The best thing about this movie and the first sequel, part 2, is Andrew Divoff. How do you say his name? The guy that plays Divoff. He plays the Wishmaster. I loved it when he's in his human form. He's so slick and like I love his voice. I wish I could. Yeah, I wish I could do his voice though. Like, what do you want? Or what, like. And the special effects are, of course, great. Can be. The opening scene, there's tons of wild shit. A skeleton pulls itself out of a guy's body.
That's great. That looks. I mean, you could tell he's all about effects like this.
Oh yeah.
You can tell he done his homework.
I mean, they spent just the guy that's a snake. There's a guy that's like transforming into a snake. That had to have taken hours and hours and hours. Yeah. And he's only like 2 minutes in the fucking movie.
They probably stopped all projects for this one.
Yeah. This movie is written really well too. Like the interaction between Reggie Bannister and Buck Flower is so funny. It is such a great back and forth. And Reggie dies pretty quick, but when Andrew Divoff or whatever does these like monologues, it's what he's all about. The Wishmaster is more about monologues than anything else. There's whenever he gets
super villain.
Yeah, when he has after he kills Reggie Bannister, and then he has this interaction with Buck Flowers because he's the one that wanted him dead. And he just runs off, and while he's running off, he says this whole thing, and I wrote it down. Run, insect, run, and tell those you will what you will. Tell them there is something loose in their city, something which feeds on wishes. And this dude's fucking all the way down the street. And then he takes he takes this long drag off this cigarette, and then he comes back and tell them quickly while you still have a soul.
Yeah.
The dude's all the way 2 blocks down before he's even done. some shots in this movie really seemed like they were pulled right out of a late night Skinamax softcore thing, though. Like all of them kind of have that, I think. Like, I don't know what it is, like a suspense kind of, a sexy suspense kind of, ooh, they're making love or whatever. But I mean, I looked up the cinematographer, and his credits include Nightmare on Elm Street, Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Shocker, Mom and Dad Save the World, Silence of the Hams, all these things that I like.
Silence of the Hams.
Have you ever seen Silence of the Hams?
No, I haven't.
It's satire. It's like a Mel Brooks kind of movie. Yeah, but I love seeing the wishes go sideways. The police station scene is fantastic. Watching this guy manipulate people is so entertaining. And I'll be honest, man, there's so many cigarettes in this movie. It was like triggering my like vape habit. I'm like, oh God, they're fucking everyone all the time. And Tony Todd was like, I thought he shined in the few little moments he had as Johnny. He put a lot of mustard on that character. Yeah, and Robert Englund's party scene, huge highlight in this movie. There's so many practical effects that are great. There's some questionable CG, but overall it's like a rock show sequence at the end. Robert Englund like vomits up this thing. I don't know what it is, but it's weird as fuck. A guy gets his face smashed in with a mace, which is really stylized. I give this a 9 out of 10. I like it a lot. It's one of my favorites. Who's next?
John?
Yeah, Wishmaster, this is one I saw when it came out. I really liked it a lot. I remember the Fangorias leading up to it. It's like, never before has Freddy, Jason, Candyman, and
oh yeah,
I think it was it, and I thought there was someone else like, and it was like, never have they died on the same screen. See Wishmaster, and I was like, oh shit, let's do it, and.
So was you disappointed?
Oh no, I loved it. It was.
I mean,
great.
it sounds better than what it actually is.
No, I mean, it was way awesome when I was younger. It's a little bit not as awesome now, but it's still really cool. I will voluntarily watch it. I love the Angus Scrimm monologue. I'm a huge Phantasm fan. So anytime I can hear him, his voice is really cool. Joe Pilato was the drunk guy, the drunk crane operator. He was Captain Rhodes in Day of the Dead.
Oh.
Super brief. What was that? When the chick's friend zone guy, when he was killed, the cop examining him, what did he say? He said, computer malfunction. Must have been a hell of a computer. I was like, well, the dumbest lines I ever heard in my life, but it was
well,
so funny.
yeah, I don't know what that's that 90s computer science that you see so often. We got a gem, well, put it in the laser beams, and then of course the readings will come back on our IBMs. I don't
Right, exactly. But yeah, this is a real good horror movie. Andrew Divoff, he is really cool. I've liked him since I think the first movie I saw of his was Graveyard Shift with the rats and the bats. All right, he was a cool crony in that. He's got a screen presence, and he's super, like Frank said, he's super slick. Like he could, like that chick, was store clerk, the girl, she was smoking hot. Like she was like, she had the vapors. She was like, ooh shit. Like she was getting the vibe off of him. It was like he walks into a room, he commands the room. He was a really cool dude. to pick to play the human Jin. The mass chaos at the end, loved it. Reminded me, I can't remember which came out first. What year did this come out?
This was let me see here, 97.
97. I think, did Event Horizon come out before it?
I don't know. I have not seen that movie.
No, you know what? they came out the same year. I think I saw Event Horizon first. Yeah, we'll address that at a later date, Frank.
Sorry, man.
No, this is a solid 9 of a film. I pretty much covered everything. It's an effects film. It's by an effects guy. Was he
hands off or was he hands on the effects? Did he just direct or was he?
He probably supervised it.
He probably got his hands in there.
Yeah, I'm sure he got his hands in there when he had to, but he was directing a movie. He's like, this is why I'm a third of this studio. Yeah, it's like all of you people, interns, students, I don't give a fuck. Get in here and make this snake guy for me.
Yeah.
Make this skeleton Harryhausen itself out of this guy's skin. That was a badass effect.
That is so
great.
It's super a great puppetry to make that thing work. No CG. They could have CG'd it and it could have been bad. Like, it was a really good effect.
Yeah, the CG is sometimes the CG is almost criminal. Like whenever.
But it was so early. I mean, so early in the CG.
Yeah.
Times, you know what I mean? Like of it, none of it was redeeming.
Like the Kane Hodder, when he dies, he shatters, and it's like it looks like one of those 3DOs, like a like
the intro to the 3DO.
Yeah, something like that. But Jason.
Yeah. So again, first time watch, and when I was going down through it and seeing all these names that were involved with it, I almost felt kind of ashamed that I haven't watched this movie yet. I don't have. Are any of the sequels worth watching?
I like 2 better than 1. I think.
Really? What is it?
After
do they release this?
2,
is it a 3-pack?
4-pack.
I
have a 4.
Is that all of them, or is there?
Yeah, I think so. I think unless they made a 5, they might have made a 5.
It might have been like a sci-fi channel original.
4 is like it's worth watching after because they set up a formula. Like it's always the same thing. It's like he's trying to get these 3 wishes granted. So
is it the same guy? Is it
in the first 2? It is.
Yeah.
3 I think is still
Wishmaster.
3 is still worthwhile. 4 I have never seen. So
do you have these?
Yeah, I've got the whole set, but I haven't watched 4 yet.
But is this part of the Vestron collection?
Yeah.
Okay. I can sort of see the cover. I should have already known all this because when I finished this movie, it was good enough to where I wanted to buy it. The effects are out of this world. They just knocked those out of the park, and it's just I like the character, both of them, the human side and they look good, they sound good. The sound design, the sound production on this sounds great, and it also helps that I have window air conditioners, and when I watched this is one like the first time, since last winter that I haven't watched a movie with this loud ass air conditioner going on. So I was able to actually hear everything really well. And, I would say I give this an 8. And if you say, 2's even better or as good, I'll probably be picking this collection up. I recommend it.
It's definitely fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The CG stuff is bad, but it's also nice to kind of look back.
The evolution.
Oh yeah. It definitely.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Like I can, I don't know, 10 years ago, if I would have watched that, I'd been like, this piece of shit movie. Look at these effects. now I could sit and watch it and appreciate
Yeah.
Where it got started.
All right. Well, let's get into Bubba Ho-Tep. This one won the poll, beat out Phantasm.
Yeah, it did. And it was a comeback too, wasn't it? Phantasm
I believe so.
was in the lead forever.
Yeah.
And funny thing, this was also directed by Don Coscarelli. So
right.
Regardless, summary for this film: Elvis and a black JFK stay in a nursing home where nothing happens until a wayward Egyptian mummy comes and sucks out the old people's souls through their a-holes. It literally said, I didn't read that before.
A-holes.
The two decide to fight back. Written by Joe R. Lansdale and Don Coscarelli. And I hope they're making this prequel. Bubba Nosferatu, Curse of the She-Vampires.
Yeah,
I've been hearing rumors about sequels
long
and prequels.
time.
Yeah, 2017.
After this came out.
Yeah, I think 2017 was when the IMDb has it listed, and it's in pre-production still, so it's probably just not going to happen. But of course, you got the Bruce Campbell as Elvis / Sebastian Hoff.
Maybe when Bruce Campbell is actually old enough to be in a nursing home.
Right. Well, it's supposed
and
to be
he needs some money.
It's supposed to be a prequel,
they'll make
so it could be any point in time.
They better hurry.
Yeah, you got to get it. Ossie Davis as Jack. You might remember him from Grumpy Old Men, Do the Right Thing. I remember back in the 90s, he was in like everything. So, and then Reggie Bannister makes an appearance in this film also as a rest home administrator. Evidently, the original story had a female character who thinks she's John Dillinger post-sex change. That would have been an interesting concept there. I think the scarabs look good. We've got K&G effects again on this. They could have really went sideways with those bugs, man. But I think they look good.
I feel like they kind of dropped the ball with the bugs.
Really?
To be honest.
This was a really low budget movie, though.
Yeah,
so
they did it
they looked good for what they were.
K&G did it for free.
Yeah,
the movie cost.
This is a favor.
The movie cost $500,000 to make, so they did it as a favor to Coscarelli just because of his, this is the Phantasm dude. But I didn't think the Mummy looked. I mean, the Mummy, it looked good for the most part. It couldn't move its mouth, which was weird. But until the end, when it opened up like a whatever happens. Don't get me wrong. I love Bruce Campbell playing Elvis. I think it's perfect. But good Lord, there's so much front loading at the beginning of this. I don't need all that. You could have condensed the first half hour into 15 minutes, give me that, and then get to the cool shit, fill that other 15 minutes up with the cool shit. Like, more of that Kemosabe guy, because he was hilarious. That old guy with the cowboy gun. Hilarious.
Asshole.
I think the best thing about this movie is Ossie Davis and Bruce Campbell's interactions, especially
It's like a real life stick shooter from Puppet Master.
Yeah. Well, he was a cowboy actor.
Yeah.
I think that was his deal, because like when they showed his room, you saw all these posters, and I felt like he was.
They're probably really him too. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's how I always figured.
I haven't seen this movie for a while, so I did not remember the whole Bruce Campbell Ossie Davis bathroom scene where Ossie Davis explains how a soul can be extracted out of any orifice in the human body. I mean, every scene with these guys is great. I love it when he goes, "Hey, you want a ding dong?" And he's like, "Not mine. I mean, like a chocolate ding dong."
I guess mine would be chocolate.
He says, I guess
that way since they died.
I guess mine would be chocolate now that I've been dyed.
Yeah.
A few times I thought Bruce Campbell looked like an old Kurt Russell, more than an Elvis. It happened several times. I got into a weird thought spiral after that, thinking about what it would have been like if Bruce Campbell played an old Kurt Russell in a movie for whatever reason. That would be, I don't know. I don't think this is technically a horror movie. I would call it a supernatural spaghetti western comedy is what I would say.
It's the people involved with it, and I guess the mummy part.
Yeah, it's a monster movie, I guess. I read several 1-star reviews just to see what people who don't like this movie think about it, and generally they just seem to be folks who don't know how to have any sort of fun in life. Because this is like a 9. Right. This is a 9 out of 10 for me. This is a fun movie. It's just what a movie should be, I think. I don't know. What do you think, John?
I actually went and saw this at a premiere in a little town outside of Pittsburgh called Oakmont. They had this little 2-screener theater, and Coscarelli was touring the film, and that was one of his stops. So me and a bunch of friends, we got to go see it. Got to meet Don Coscarelli afterwards. It is a really great movie. It's Bruce Campbell's finest hour. It's like acting wise, not like physical, like not evil. Evil Dead in this is not on the same level. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like this is like real. I'm not to be a dick, like real, like dramatic acting, not horror acting.
It is. I tell you what, this is just a weird movie. This is a weird story, and it actually has several touching parts in this movie. Like this is just it's a bizarre story. Like the story doesn't make any sense at all, but they turned it into great storytelling. It's absolutely wrote well. Like just hearing you describe this movie, it's just like what. I would probably never even gave this movie a chance, like if I didn't, already know who the people were.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, wait a minute, Bruce Campbell plays an old Elvis?
Right.
I saw that and I stopped. I was like, I'm fucking there. That is
like it
great.
just the relationship they have. Like I just want to watch them go on more adventures. Like it was awesome.
Hey,
sorry,
man.
John. I interrupted.
Maryland. No, it's cool, dude. It's no worries. I like when he asked him about Maryland. He's like, between you and me, wow. Right. Like Ozzie Davis. Ozzie Davis was so lovable in this movie. He was like a sweet old man. He's a sweet grandpa.
I got a bag of sand up there.
Yeah, and then he had the scar too. He had a scar, and it was like, wait a minute, what if? I mean, come on, Elvis is really alive, right? What if JFK is this really?
He really died.
Seriously, yeah. There's a fucking mummy running around. Why can't that be? Why can't that be? You know what I'm saying? Why can't that be real? In the realm of that film. Bruce Campbell nailed Elvis. It was. I just loved it. I loved his acting. It's a really good film. Bubba Ho-Tep, you hear that name and you think, what the fuck is that? And if you just
a
read
good
the
old
description,
boy.
I liked how they explained it and stuff. If I had one thing I didn't like, it was the hieroglyphics that came out of his mouth.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was kind of needless. It was whatever. It could have just been subtitles, but whatever. It's a mummy. JFK is black and alive, and Elvis is really alive. It's a really cool what if story, and then I really loved the Elvis character reflecting on his life and realizing like he was real fucked up for what he did. He learned like he did messed up things to people and his family and stuff. Like that was a really good take on the character. Who knows what if Elvis was alive, what he would be doing. It was creative, unique, well written, and well acted. It is a fucking 10.
And he's dishing them out.
I was waiting
it's
for
a 10 of a film. It is a great film. It is.
I started laughing. I knew it was coming. I was just listening to it.
Dude. It's one of the most creative movies I've ever seen. Like,
he was very apprehensive
Elvis
about
is
dropping
alive.
that last 10.
Nah. That was planned.
So did you give everything a 10?
Nah.
No.
I gave Wishmaster a 9.
Okay.
These were good movies. These were some good movies we got this time. This was like a solid slate. This is a solid slate of movies. Like I like every single one of them a ton.
All right. Well, Jason, what's your thoughts on this movie?
Okay. So every time I watch it, for whatever reason, I started off thinking it's just an okay movie. By the time it ends, I'm like amazed every time I watch it. Like I don't know. It's just like the storytelling. It's that adventure. It reminds a couple of non-horror movies that kind of do the same thing to me. I don't know if you guys have seen Big Fish, Tim Burton. That storytelling.
Never seen it.
Second-hand Lions.
I've never seen
couple
that
old
one.
dudes.
I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I can't.
Really good. The two old
It's
dudes
that relationship.
on adventures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminded. That's
adventures.
why I was thinking Gone Fishing. I don't know if you've seen Gone Fishing. It's Joe Pesci and Danny Glover.
Yeah, it's a weird combo.
Oh, it's a good movie, dude. They keep losing their boat and shit. It's hilarious. It is, and because Danny Glover plays a really dumb guy. It's like,
oh, really?
It's perfect.
Oh,
it's
wow.
good. He's like, I don't know, boy. They lose the boat, and Joe Pesci gets all pissed off. It's just funny, man.
That sounds good. But yeah, it's the relationship, the story, the adventure they go on. I could have used more Mummy. They could have maybe gave him a little bit more screen time, or I don't know. Not that that's a complaint. Like he's in it enough. Like he's a character in there. But I think that the highlights definitely the main attraction is the two, Elvis and JFK.
Yeah.
But I think I agree. I give this movie a 10. Every time it ends, I'm like, that's great. That was amazing. And it does it to me every time, like 3 or 4 times now. So 10 out of 10 for me.
And it's not a bad Elvis, man. I mean, it is good.
Right.
Like his impression he crushes it. And he always, that chin was so natural. Like he had an Elvis-y face. Like the prosthetics were awesome. Like it's Oscar worthy in my eyes.
I never even noticed previous viewings that they don't use any Elvis music. They just use stuff that sort of sounds like Elvis, and then they don't even use real Elvis movies when they do the flashback or whatever. I mean, they just used some shit that looked kind of like it was Elvis, and I mean it worked because you don't even pay attention to that shit. You would think you'd be like, they didn't even play a fucking Elvis song, but they just breeze it right. There's too much shit to pay attention to that, but anyways, we are going to be doing a club episode next week, and I believe, unless things have changed, let me check it. I don't think it has, though. There was pretty good lead on that poll.
Candyman's looking like the winner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I always want to be like, hey, everybody that didn't vote for Candyman, let's pick one of these other movies and give them a run for their money. But yeah. Anyways, that's what we'll be doing.
You know what? I think we should go back to doing is with those poll movies that we haven't seen before.
Okay.
Not everyone, but just a movie that I haven't seen, and same for everyone else. And then because I mean, my picks have won the last 2 times, but I mean it was Candyman and Bubba Ho-Tep. Like
they've been
pretty
all
big movies.
Big
People see those names and they'll just click on whatever movies
they're
favorite.
into it.
So maybe let's start picking some more obscure movies.
Yeah, that's a good thing. So we'll
if we're able to find them. If
Right.
you've got to be able to find them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Streaming somewhere.
Just kind of pick something random on Tubi. Yeah. But
well, let's not take trash. But I know there's some movies out there I haven't seen that I've just avoided for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I'm picking the Turkish Satan. That's the Turkish Exorcist.
Oh,
I've actually seen some of that.
Frank either played a video or shared something.
Yeah, it's funny as hell.
But yeah, we'll be doing that. We'll be doing Candyman, and then we're going to return to our RPG game and see how that goes. I've got some stuff planned out for that. So
oh God,
we'll see
now that I know how to play it.
We killed a child.
We'll see if you guys get out of that. If you guys get out of that house or whatever.
Yeah. Oh my God, we're terrible.
What is it? It's supposed to be a slasher game, right?
We're the slashers now.
We're the monsters.
It's a horror game.
We really turn out to be werewolves.
I feel like we should just start over. We didn't get too far. We should just start over.
I like how it's going, and when I listened back through, I made sure to take accurate notes of hit points and weapons and stuff. And
okay, cool.
So I've got all the information to continue it correctly. And since you guys made some zigs and zags I wasn't planning for.
We zigged when we should have zagged, man. Shit.
I've made some adaptions to what I had planned, but anyways.
You knock? No, we just went in and wrecked shop. We killed the eyeless dude, and a kid attacked us, and we hatched him in the fucking head. Yeah. And here we are.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how everything goes next week.
What was those other things? Was it rabbits? Didn't we kill some rabbits or something?
No, they were melting toads.
Oh,
melting toads. That's what it was.
We still disturb wildlife.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next time.
All right,
see you guys.
We'll see you
later.
Last roundup.